Hey y'all, welcome back to the Hot Rod Dad channel. Glad you came. I hope you stay. Like, subscribe, comment, share, etc., etc. I want to start out the video by giving a big shout out to Doreen Morling, watching all the way in Germany. Doreen requested some more Chevy 3100 truck content, and I'll be obliging that request in the near future, as I'll be going to the Smoky Mountain Truck Nationals in June. It's a Chevy 3100 show, and I'll be uploading probably 2 or 3 videos from that event. So Doreen, stay tuned for that. Until then, the best I can do is a shot of old Oscar right here. I hear today is Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm headed out to the shop. I can think of no better reason to avoid the TV at all costs and enjoy some time in the shop. Get an early start on my spring cleaning and do a little tinkering with the BLT. So, but if you're a sports fan, I hope your team sinks plenty of baskets today. I'm just kidding. In all seriousness, someone asked me last week who I thought would be the Super Bowl winner this year, and I said Taylor Swift. She's already won with all the free publicity she's getting out of this deal. So anyway, if you're a sports fan, good luck to your team. I'm headed out to the shop. But this video today is about the recent Stones River Region AACA swap meet in Nashville, Tennessee, and some of the cool stuff I found. Stay tuned till the end to see what I bought and a small update on the BLT. So y'all stay tuned. Here is a good, solid looking Model T project. Not sure what kind of engine they got in there. Looks like a little Ford 4-cylinder. Amazing how solid that body is, though, to be as old as it is.
All right, Mike, it's nice to
meet you. Nice to meet you. Drop me a line on Facebook.
Here's a couple of cool bicycles here in this booth. I don't collect a whole bunch of this stuff. I just love to look at these old vintage toys and lunch boxes and stuff like this. Here is one of my favorite things that I've found here this weekend. This is a little Bridgestone 100, 1971 model. When's the last time you saw one of those? And it's only clocked 3,138 miles on the odometer. What a great piece. There's a number of really cool bikes here, and this one is probably the rarest and most unique that I've found here today. This is a 1937 Hawthorne Airflow. And back here we've got a Simplex and a couple other bikes, along with this Schwinn back here in the back. Really cool stuff. This vendor has a ton of cool stuff right here. A lot of smalls. I love to get in these little display cases and check out all the things they got in there. Look at that gear shift knob. I don't know if I've ever seen one with a mount like that before. That's very cool. One thing I love about swap meets is you can always find weird and oddball stuff, like this old wooden boat right here. This would be an interesting project. Looks like it's mostly all there, including the Chrysler 6-cylinder engine. Wouldn't that look cool being towed behind a vintage car truck? Man, I love these old 2829 Model A phone booth cab trucks. And I'd love to have one, but I've got enough projects to last me probably up to and through retirement. So not much point in looking at them, but I do anyway. Maybe one of these days I'll trade around, see if I can pick one up. Always a joker in the crowd. There's something you don't see much anymore, but it's a great display piece. Well, here's a weird little ride. Not sure if this is a factory built piece or if this was a homemade job. Really cool though. Be a whole lot of fun for a kid.
Or just a good old beater to drive around.
Yeah. If you're looking to pick up a project, here is a really good solid candidate. This is a 1939 Chevy Coupe. And it says it's a roller with no motor in it. But it looks like it's really, really solid. $7,500 would be a good start, I guess. There's several vehicles here today for sale. Of the ones here, this so far has been my favorite. This is an old Studebaker station wagon, small block Chevy powered. Any of you sharp-eyed viewers know that those headlight rings are what's on Oscar. This thing is incredibly solid. Be a great family cruiser. It's got just a little bit of rust here and there, but it's just cool enough to leave alone and drive. Here's another little oddball ride. This is a custom Volkswagen. Years ago, you could buy these hoods to make your Volkswagen look like a 40 Ford. This one's been made into a sedan delivery. Pretty funky. Here's a really rough project right here, but it's got potential. This is a 57 Chevy. It's been a wagon, but somebody has unceremoniously hacked the back of the roof off in an attempt to make a truck out of it, looks like. There is my favorite old P10 panel truck. I just love that thing. Have to stop and look at it every time I see it. It is so cool. This thing is powered by an LS engine, lowered nicely.
Look at the ceiling.
Oh yeah, I've seen it before. I have to look at it every time I see it. Man, these old C10 trucks are white hot right now. This one's a shade rough, but it's wearing its original paint and graphics right here. For $6,000, it can be yours, and you get the trailer to go with it. One of my favorite vendors to check out here is always these folks that sells all the vintage stickers and decals. I especially like checking out these state decals. It does look great in the wind of an old station wagon or on a cooler. I know several people that I think went to that school. I found a couple of Sinclair dinosaurs here at this vendor. And a really unique bike. I'm not sure what this is exactly. Look at the motor on it though. Just rides on the front tire. Interesting setup. And over here we got Betty Boop. Oh, I'm loving this sun visor. This is really cool. I've threatened several times about putting a sun visor on Old Smoky. I don't know. What do y'all think? Leave me a comment. I always love checking out what's in the parking lot of these swap meets. Here's a really solid original C10. And this is a short bed. Looks like just a good old survivor. Be a good daily driver. This is one of my favorite rides that I've spotted here today out in the parking lot. The little square body S10. Love the paint scheme on this thing. And the matching wheel. This thing is lowered just right. It's got a tonneau cover in the back. It's sporting 2.5 four-cylinder badges, but I'm not sure that's what he's running. Cool little custom touch back here on the back. He's got a Blazer bumper on it. Just love this little thing. Be a great little driver. Well, I found a lot of really cool stuff at the Stones River Region AACA swap meet in Nashville. But I was super excited to find these tires. These will be going on the back of the BLT here. And as you can see here, I've got some cardboard cutouts right here. Just kind of getting an idea of the diameter tire that I want to run on the back of the car. And that's the size, just going through the catalog that I picked out from Coker Tire. These are 718, and they're pretty tall, pretty rowdy on the back, which that means I'll probably end up having to change my gear ratio on that rear end, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But these are the tires that I had decided to run on the back. And had I ordered those, I almost picked up the phone and ordered them the week before the swap meet. But I thought, I'll just wait and see if I can find something at the swap meet. And I lucked up, found those, picked them up for $200. Had I ordered them from Coker, that's going to be about $600. So saved so much money that I picked myself up a knockout punch set. And I picked up some heat shrink tubing. If you're using that stuff from Lowe's or Home Depot or one of the big box stores, it's kind of thin. This is the really good epoxy lined stuff. So if you've not used any of that yet, it's got an epoxy glue on the inside that glues itself to the wire and to the connector. So it allows for a really, really tough connection. I also picked up these flush cut pliers. These are for cable ties, and they're designed to cut the tails off flush so you don't leave any sharp edges on there to cut yourself. Picked those up from the same vendor for $3. So now that I've got my wheels and tires squared away and my wheel choice, I can go ahead and finish setting up the suspension and get the angle of the front axle correct so that it will drive nice. These are the tires that I have for the front. I will be running a 16-inch wheel in the front right there. That type right there. Maybe not that particular wheel, but that type. Those are a 1935 forward wire wheel. And so it'll be a 16-inch wheel up front, 18-inch on the back, and it's going to have a pretty healthy hot rod rake on it. So I'm excited to find these tires. and that will kind of free me up to get back on the BLT here and get the suspension squared away. I picked those tires up on the front at the Coker tire sale for 40 bucks a piece. Got 200 bucks in the back tires for a total of 280 bucks thus far invested in tires. So that's a really smoking deal. Still got to pick up the inner tubes, but that's not going to be too bad. I've got my gas tank pretty well fitted, squared away. I'm going to pull it out this week, try to get the welding done on it. I've got the filler neck cut out right there. And the other thing is I got a stainless steel nipple right here. That's a 1/4-inch pipe thread. That'll go on the bottom for the line going out. And the only other thing that I've been kind of working on the BLT is I've been working on the headlights. And while I'm giving you a little bit of an update right here, I decided I think I'm going to cut that bracket out on this side and do something like this, just because you'll be able to see that around the tire right there, and it'll give it a little bit more of a graceful transition right there. And I'm going to cut some holes out right there just to give it a little style. Anyway, there's a little bit of update on the BLT and some of my swap meet finds. Oh, I want to show you one other thing. I was super stoked to find this. This will be going under my 34 Ford pickup. This is a 1932 Ford heavy axle, and this is widely known to be the most sought after old school hot rod axle that you can get. So as you can see here, these were extra beefy right here. So much so that they had to make an indention right here just to put the pin in right there. So that's where the wishbones bolt on. You can see that little indention right there. Drove to Kentucky and picked that up. Found it on Marketplace and got a smoking deal on that. 200 bucks for the axle. And I got the backing plates and brakes. I've also got the 32 rear spring right here. As you can see right there, it's got a curve in it. 1 year only for Ford. And also picked up the perches right here, and I've got the spindles and everything. So super stoked to get that. Got a little bit of damage right here. Looks like somebody's welded some shocks on it, shock mounts on it at one time right there. And I think this came off of an old school hot rod because it's got what looks like some fender braces welded onto the backing plates. So that's really cool. I'll be disassembling this and taking that to Georgia to a fellow down there that does dropped axles, and I'll also let him repair those areas for me right there. So there's a little bit of an update on the BLT. So y'all stay tuned when I get into getting the tires and wheels mounted up and getting the suspension squared away. I'll do a big update video on it. So y'all stay tuned for that, and until next time,
y'all get out there and build something.
Y'all get out there and build something.